All right. So this is going to be the first episode of Susboyes.
Which derives from the name for the Smash lobbies we would do.
Of course. All the sparring.
I can't even really quite understand, or I think back to the name comes from we just watched a lot of YouTube poops. We and everyone else that we pretty much associate with are into YouTube poop culture, which there is. It does exist.
Exactly. Well, that's just because sus jokes are hilarious. And
sus jokes are hilarious, and they will be in every video at least once.
Exactly. Not even just poops. I'm just glad that just totally not even related to sus jokes that people have been using it for Among Us. That's funny because I get to say sus, not in context.
Well, actually, there's something interesting about that is I see people saying that a lot for Among Us, but that's something that we in CS:GO have been saying for a long time. Like,
oh really?
If someone is like, if we suspect someone is hacking, which, as you know, is like a grave offense in CS:GO culture, like that.
Yeah.
It's fucked. It's fucked. We very much do not like hackers. They mess the game up for everyone. If someone is playing and it seems like they might be hacking, they'll say, "Oh, blue is sus in the enemy team." Like. Might want to send a report in.
I see.
So
I had no idea.
I've heard that for a long time, but it's pretty funny.
I had no idea that CS:GO uses sus as a term there. That's funny. That's funny.
And that's just as far as my knowledge goes. Like I can almost promise that it goes even further, but that's not my expertise.
Me neither. I think
like as you started from Among Us, right? So.
Yeah, that's how I heard about people using sus as in like, oh, that's kind of sus, or you know,
like it's short for suspicious. But now it's like sus in this context is just from taking anything that starts with an S and a vowel and reversing it halfway through, so it goes sus.
Exactly, and that's our kind of humor.
Yeah,
that's funny.
So it just, and also the word boys spelled BOYES has always been just like some, like you call an inanimate object, oh that's a boy right there, that's going on right there.
Exactly. What's going on?
You kind of describe everything within that realm of nomenclature, and so that's basically Susboyes.
Exactly. That being said, I've been, and I think you're all wondering, it's Izzy finally saying something, or just like, there's something finally on the channel, finally, about time.
And we're Silver.
Yes, yeah, and we're Silver. That is me. I am Izzy, also known as Silver or Silver Stripe. And I do things, which we'll get to in a second. This is my good friend Zelda. We have been. Oh, full name or?
Well, and you can go Zelda, Trixie, Lulamoon.
Zelda, Trixie, Lulamoon, yes. We have a really long history, and I don't think we've ever discussed this for somebody to hear.
Not like on a platform like this, no.
Yeah, I don't think so, no. So, I think it's just appropriate, yeah. I guess I'll just let you take the lead back to kindergarten.
So we essentially we met at do I call it Sunday school, or what do I use to describe it?
Technically, I mean, it's Alma Heights. That was the name of it. It's like a private Sunday school.
Was it Alma Heights or was it Cornerstone?
No, it was definitely Alma Heights. So it was both.
Well, yeah, because we had kind of Alma Heights wasn't exactly my sort of my turf, really. That was like kind of momentary, so that would probably be like our brief first encounters, and then we saw each other otherwise. And it was basically church. It was Sunday school. That's true. We had seen each other through kindergarten in and around that time, which for people who do not have the same grade types in their country, that will mean essentially the first year of school for any student at all, like just flat out straight first year of school. And
that's true.
We didn't really know each other, I'd say, like terribly too much. Like initially, we were just kind of acquaintances, saw each other.
Yeah.
On those Sundays, and then went about our business. And yet there were still interactions, none that I can recall very
Yeah, me
specifically.
neither. It's been so long. I mean,
Yeah, it has been some time, but then it came to we saw each other for a while, and then got into the all those years later got into the teen group with that church as well.
exactly.
And initially it was just like it was a pretty casual experience, so we got to actually properly know each other at that point. We would frequently go and to your house in Pacifica, and we would just have our gatherings there, I suppose, like outside of the Sunday school.
Like the youth groups and the the discussion times, and and that's how we really got to know each other there, really. But those are great. I miss those.
Yeah, I can remember that was also my first experience with Call of Duty. Was at your house.
Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah.
And I'd later gone on to just play it myself. I was never really into shooting games all too much, except for like Star Wars Battlefront, and then
the good ones.
Experienced the Modern Warfare series at your house during those religious gatherings, which is a little bit ironic.
I mean, I think that ended up being just as religious. All jokes intended there.
Well, I mean, on top of Mortal Kombat as well. It was Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter interchangeably. Or at least Street Fighter.
Yes.
At your place,
Yes.
I think there was Mortal Kombat at the actual youth group. I don't remember.
It was MK, Street Fighter X Tekken. I didn't have access to a Nintendo console a home console at that moment, so I wouldn't have been able to play Smash there. I wish we could have, because of how seriously I take it now.
We essentially grew up on fighting games, is the idea.
Exactly. The glory days, which we still do.
Yeah, no, it is frequent. It is frequent. But what ended up then was I was getting into making electronic music, because I'd been making music for a long time, but there was a new interest in electronic music because of some experiences I had with my homeroom teacher in 7th grade, as well as him also being my history teacher throughout my middle school years. And he had encouraged me to make music and check out this electronic music stuff, which was Skrillex at that time. And
yes,
I was like going on and getting you involved as well, because you played music. You played instruments.
Yes, I was a musician.
Music
at the time,
was a mutual interest.
Yes.
And what was it? We basically started with you coming over to my parents' house, and we would essentially just produce stuff there. At that time, you didn't know a ton about production or composition or anything like that. And so to start off, you were mainly executing ideas. Like we would go through ideas, and I would try my best to figure out how to make that like into something.
Exactly. I think just kind of composition writing, really. That was like really it. I mean, whether or not it be like musically or just sound design, that you got me really hooked on it, especially 2012, 2013. That was because we started on GarageBand, and I was totally new to this world of music. Like I had only known about being a musician, just like you said. And I was, you got me hooked on it. It was a lot of fun. It really was. I remember coming over like once or twice every week, and sometimes I'd even stay the night for for an extra 2 nights or something, and we would just make stuff. And I miss those. I mean, at least doing it in person,
Yeah, and then because you moved away. What year did you move away?
It was the end of 2013, I think. Yeah. I think it was July 27th, 2013, I believe.
So that was before I even started high school. Before you started high school.
Yes, that was right before. Yeah.
So you had to sort of reevaluate everything in terms of getting a new high school situated for when you moved down to Salinas.
Exactly. Man, that really brings me back. Granted, that didn't stop us, by the way. I just kept making frequent visits back. frequent visits back, and then we sort of started to use Skype to keep in contact, which in retrospect is kind of hilarious, because Skype
just compared to everything else, like not even just Discord, just everything else is just not very effective. Like I'd rather collaborate through Telegram if I had to.
Telegram, or in this case, Discord.
Discord, yeah.
Exactly. Oh, it's so good. It's so good.
And then there was the whole, I came back from that trip to Disneyland and suddenly I was a brony and I was getting you on that train as well.
Oh
And
yeah, exactly.
Definitely you've come to be a lot more subtle and a lot less focused and involved directly in the community, but it's sort of like something you participate in or watch from a distance.
Yeah. It's I like the way I worded it to a while before. I liked you to give me the TLDR. I still participate, but I won't actively go out of my way to be in it because, and I think just being in a community like that, it's not
the thing you vibe with, really.
Yeah. It's a lot to.
Especially
exactly.
when you already have focus and so many other different communities as well. That
exactly.
It's one more that it's just like you can sort of appreciate it from its appropriate distance.
Exactly, yeah. Because I mean, I just can't really handle the participation. It's really time consuming and it's a lot to take in. It's just kind of not mentally draining. It's just really busy.
And of course, it's always been dramatic as well. Not to get into specifics.
Oh man,
we talk on that enough.
It's true. That's true. That being said, and I think a lot of people here, especially from the people who have seen me in the vlogs, by the way, though the hair guy.
You are the face of. You appear a million times % more than I do, face wise, because I'm the one holding the camera usually.
Oh yeah, you are holding the camera. Apart from the times you hand it to me, but you are right. Yeah, I think that I didn't even realize that now that you mentioned that. But also Susboyes is also there as well. The name still lives.
Oh yeah, it was. I don't even remember which one it was. It was like 2016, I think.
I think it was Susboyes Sus Rising, I think.
Oh wait, that was actually one of the first ones then.
Was that one of the first ones?
Yeah,
oh goodness.
Yeah, Sus Rising.
Oh wow, man. If you haven't watched that, go watch it. It's on Zelda's channel. Go watch that. That was
I actually have a
really
playlist
fun.
of all the Horse Friends vlogs, including the BronyCon ones. I think the BabsCon ones as well. But basically all the in real life vlogs that I've done, which all have a very similar, how would you call it? Casual sort of attitude.
Yeah. Very relaxed, casual. Just us being us. Really?
Yes, and some of the filming styles tend to be very consistent in the way that I zoom into everyone.
That's our kind of humor.
That's just how it works.
Yeah, exactly. Similar to the sus jokes. Yes. Now, if you haven't seen in the vlogs, if you're wondering what I do, this is very similar to what I said in regards to back in 2013 is Zelda would be working on something, and I'll listen to it, and she'll be like, "Hey, do you want to check this out?" Yeah, sure. And just like back in 2013, all of a sudden I just go back in this mode where, this would be really cool if this were here, or this would be really cool if this sounded like that, or maybe this melody here or something like that. And and then in a short amount of time, it's just us working together again like we used to. And that's sort of how almost every single song is gone. Really, it's almost unintentional.
But since 2013, not only have you started to learn more about production, but you've definitely honed your skills in guitar far beyond what probably you expected to at the time that you started making music.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I feel like I've come a lot further as a musician, especially as a vocalist too. I'm really glad I got that vocal training as well. I feel like
which was after Mystic Acoustics.
That was after Mystic Acoustics, man. I wish I had those skills. Then, I mean, I have them now, and I won't complain for having them. But I think that's just part of growing as a musician and also, a sound engineer, which I'll get into later. I feel like, especially with you've been teaching me how to use Ableton after we moved away from GarageBand.
Oh yeah, and Ableton I will die for over FL Studio, but I think that FL Studio is still very good to people who find it useful. Like there are so many amazing records made with it that I don't think there's any reason to argue which DAW is the best, just whichever one is best for your workflow.
That's true. That's true.
Some of my favorite electronic musicians, they're all using FL Studio, so like, what the fuck can I say?
Exactly. Oh, that being said, also Alexander Winter or Savant, a huge inspiration of her and I. I absolutely adore his work. Something that's great is that he's not held back by genre or style, and that's something that really resonated with me. You know, just
it's kind of where the whole idea of just not really giving much attention to what genre something was,
exactly,
and rather just seeing how it would fit with everything else, and like creating a multi-style project for the sake of being able to express in all those different sorts of ways and expressing all these types of ways of writing music.
Exactly. Prime example, Catching on Zelda's channel, go watch that, or listen to it in this case. How many styles did we use in that one song? Like 4, right?
Starting off, it was like a weird hybrid acoustic drum and bass, because there was like a drum and bass sort of beat, but it wasn't played with like drum and bass samples. It wasn't in the drum and bass context, but it had that drum beat, and then it was mixed with both synthesizers and then your guitar playing. I was playing some either synth bass or bass underneath it, and then it went into this like weird sort of how would you say, seafaring sort of like sailor song accordion, sort of Mediterranean music. Yeah,
Mediterranean, almost shanty-like, almost.
And it kept pushing into this like weird drum and bass acoustic jazz shit, and then eventually ends on like some really chill samba.
I love that. The ending came out so good.
Yeah, I really am a fan of that. The ending to Catching On. And so it's not even just limited to the genres that one song will be in. It's sort of just like, what can we do to tell an entire story in 4 minutes?
Exactly. I still personally think out of the whole Aloe and Lotus EP, go listen to that, by the way, if you haven't. Really proud of what we did for that.
As Aloe and Lotus, it's an album separately. They're EPs.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
1 year apart from each other.
Oh man, back at the Bonchon days.
Yes.
Which we still need to do.
Yeah, so we have one. We have one in Oregon now, properly.
Yes, finally. And we are going to eat there. Spicy tenders as usual. Also, like I was saying, I still think that Ernest will be my favorite song out of both those EPs, and I really mean that. Like that song was so fun. The workflow was really fun. Everything about that was super happy.
And I think that sort of marked like our new workflow together as musicians. Now that there is definitely a higher degree of separation, because we were both very busy at that point.
That's true, yeah.
And so we kind of learned to deal with our new writing styles, respectively.
Exactly. And this was even before COVID. I mean, like, I guess we were doing things virtually even before then. But we got it down to a science. We worked out our schedules. So just a lot of times out of the week, we just talk and work. And it's not even, we don't even see it as work anymore. That's just us hanging out.
Yeah.
I love it. I love that. It's funny how everything just all blended together. That was really great. And that being said, I'd also like to bring up the new project we're working on right now. Zelda's new project right now. It's called Fairy Tales. Mind telling us about that real quick?
Yeah, which is the sequel to Super Pony World, which is the 4th installment of the main Starship Ponyville series. I'm gonna make like a webpage to better diagram these things, but it is a part of the Starship Ponyville story series and album series that Izzy and I have been working on since pretty much 2012, because that's when we made the song Starship Ponyville, which it wasn't really
it was all right.
But it was like sort of a proof of concept, which it really wasn't, given to what the project has become. But all things said and done, it's something that we've been working on and conceiving since 2012. I think because we're both inspired by rock music in specific is sort of like the thing that both of us came up on.
Oh, of course.
And in specific, a lot of like concept album based things. And so we thought, how could we take that to the next level in electronic music? And although that's sort of become something that exists now in electronic music sort of normally, notably Porter Robinson, I think, was someone who executed that to the degree
I totally agree.
We were imagining. Point being, every time it's come up in electronic music, we're like, well, okay, how can we one up that? How do we keep going?
Exactly.
And so we started off having this idea of Starship Ponyville because we both really like sort of space punk stuff, like Star Wars, Star Trek, all that.
Oh, of course. And probably started from the Battlefront days.
Nowadays, we also really just the Guardians of the Galaxy stuff is pretty heavy in our minds, and so Starship Ponyville definitely comes out of that space punk sort of sci-fi film genre that
Space Pirates too.
Space Pirates that we both we were a big fan of. It doesn't honestly really doesn't get much deeper than that in terms of the inspiration. We just really like space.
Exactly. And that being said, the story's been written for almost 7 years now. It's 7 years of writing, almost.
Actually, it is going to be 8 years starting in November, which is when we started coming up with those ideas.
Wow. Man, I'm losing track of time here, man.
It wasn't originally supposed to be something as grandiose as it has become, because it was really originally just like an offshoot idea, just like something we could work on the side. And now it's my main focus in terms of the projects I work on, slowly moving towards the last one, Promise Complex.
Oh, man. That's so exciting. Every time we get together to work on Starship Ponyville, anything like that, just makes you reminiscent and excited and just awesome.
And even then, it's like, even when we don't like specifically come together to work on it, I'll just like give an idea that I had that I'm working on, and then it'll spawn a bunch of different ideas from you that you'll send over a message, and it's like up for consideration.
Exactly. And that's just how we work and hang out. Like I said before, it's just us hanging out is also working, because we exchange so many ideas. It gives birth to something. It's
really just how it is. There's never really a dull moment. Even
yes.
when we're spamming Hitman contracts.
I love those.
Something in the game will spawn an idea somehow, and that's like
exactly. It's funny. If you by the way, if you don't want Zelda, play Hitman. You really should.
I'm very good at it.
Great moments. Man, what do we have here?
What do we have? Just exploiting the AI in that game is enough to inspire other types of humor that could be implemented into the Starship Ponyville story somehow.
Exactly. All right. That being said, it's been over 20 minutes. Before we close this out, I do want to say, Fairy Tales, the new album that's coming out. The release date is going to be October 21st, right?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
It's everything's pretty much done except for some lighter stuff, right? You said it was the beta version?
Yeah. Whenever I complete a project like this, I will usually have a beta version before release. So it's like, it's pretty much ready to listen to. And if it had to be released in its condition, then it could. Like, it wouldn't put anyone off that it was released in this way. But there's definitely some improvements I can make, and am going to make. New vocalists, new vocals. I'm going to implement some of the guitar stuff you're sending me.
Yes.
And on top
Which
of that,
I'm about to work on
finish
after
writing the fanfic and finalizing the booklet and all the artwork and all this stuff. It's very packed. It's a very packed project.
Yeah, I think we're both really busy with that, because I'm also going to be revising everything you're writing, as well as recording guitar stuff.
That's right. There's the revision process, which I do.
Hey, it's all fun.
That reminds me what I need to do tonight. So
yeah. Hey, like you said, there's never a dull moment. Everything we do is fun.
There's never.
It really is. Exactly. That being said, October 21st. Be excited. You guys are gonna love it. Promise.
Less than 2 weeks away. Actually, that is 2 weeks away exactly.
Is it really? Oh man, wow. Again, I'm losing track of time here, man. Oh,
yeah, because whenever this goes up, we're recording this on October 7th.
Are we? Oh, we are. Goodness gracious.
Yes, this is October 7th. 14 days plus 7, 21.
Oh my gosh! Wow. Oh man. That being said, I will try and not be so dead all the time. Apart from just doing stuff from behind the scenes and all the other stuff, I will try and participate some more, at least on YouTube, or at least I'll try to. Probably just post these just that way you guys don't know I'm dead.
And
or
also
appear randomly in a vlog.
You're working on stuff solo as your own artist, as well as I know you're working with a band as well.
Yes, I'm doing metal stuff outside of this. The genres are everywhere.
So that'll be down there somewhere, I'm sure.
Exactly. All right. That being said, I won't take up any more of your time. This is the first episode of Susboyes.
Episode.
The episode.
The. And that's it. That's the one.
That's it. That's the one. Hey, be that way sometimes. All right. Thank you for listening. If you're still there. All right.
You never
all
know.
have
People have long attention spans. I don't understand it.
That's true, especially if we're in somebody's pocket. That's who I focus the most.
I forget. So this is a podcast, so they don't have to actively watch the video.
It is a podcast, isn't it? Oh man. All right. Well, let's call it here.
All right.
Hope you all have a good whatever day or night, whatever time, what is that called again? Clock.
I know my favorite ASMR guy. He said Ephemeral Rift. He says "good now" instead of "good day."
Good now.
He just says
I
good
like
now.
that. Good now. All right. All right. We're gonna make that a thing now. All right. Everybody, you have a good now.
You have a good now.
You have a good now.